You know, there are some moments in life when a single sentence changes how you see a person. With Johnny Depp, it was just 3 words. He once said, "She saved me." And the world paused for a moment. People wondered, who was he talking about? Was it a lover, a friend, maybe someone from his family? Or was it something even deeper than that? Today, I want to take you through the story behind those words. Because when Johnny said it, he wasn't just talking about one person. He was letting us glimpse the truth of how he survived when everything around him felt like it was falling apart. Johnny Depp is one of those rare people who almost feels like a character himself. You watch him on screen and it's easy to think he's untouchable, that fame and fortune have shielded him from the struggles the rest of us go through. But that's not how it really works. Fame can be heavy. Imagine being watched every time you step outside, every word twisted, every mistake magnified. For Johnny, the highs of success came with some crushing lows. The world loved Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands, and all the other roles he brought to life. But the man behind those characters? He often felt lost, even broken. That's why when he said, "She saved me," it hit differently. It wasn't a dramatic line meant for a movie. It was real. It came from the place inside him where the noise of Hollywood couldn't reach. He was talking about that one connection that gave him hope when the spotlight nearly burned him out. And the beautiful thing is, that makes him more relatable than ever. Because don't we all have, or wish we had, that one person who anchors us when life feels impossible? Think about it. When your world feels like it's spinning out of control, who do you call? Who sits with you in silence when you don't even have the words? That's what Johnny meant. She wasn't just a name. She was a lifeline. Some people believe he was talking about his daughter, Lily Rose. Others think it was about his mother, someone who shaped him in his early years. And then there are fans who think he was speaking of love, about a partner who pulled him back from the edge. The truth is, it could be all of these at different times. Because inspiration doesn't come from one place. It comes from the people who stay when the world walks away. Johnny's life shows us something important. Even the strongest people, the ones who look like they can carry the weight of the world, need saving sometimes. There's this myth that celebrities, artists, or leaders are completely self-made. That they fight their battles alone and come out stronger without leaning on anyone. But look closely, and you'll see that's never the case. Every story of survival, whether it's in Hollywood or in our everyday lives, has someone quietly standing in the background saying, "I've got you." And that's why Johnny's words matter. She saved me. It reminds us that you don't have to face your storms alone. Maybe for you, that she is your mother. Maybe it's a friend who never stopped believing in you. Maybe it's your child, who gives you a reason to keep going when you're ready to give up. Or maybe it's even your art, your passion, the thing you turn to when the world gets too heavy. For Johnny, it was all of that. Family. Love. Creativity. Together, they were his anchor when Hollywood felt like quicksand. When I think about Johnny's journey, I see a man who built worlds on screen but struggled to hold his own together off screen. The endless headlines, the scandals, the battles, it was enough to break anyone. And yet, here he is. Still standing. Still creating. Still telling stories. And that's not because he was indestructible. It's because he had people reminding him that he was more than the headlines. That he was more than the character of the week. That he was a father, a son, a friend, and above all, a human being worth saving. And here's where this story becomes personal for us. Because you don't need to be a Hollywood star to understand what it means to need saving. Life throws storms at all of us. Financial struggles. Broken relationships. Health issues. Loneliness. We all go through things that make us feel like we're drowning. And sometimes, all it takes is one person to throw us a rope. That's why Johnny's story resonates so deeply. It's not just about him. It's about us. So let's break this down the way Johnny's life shows it. First, fame and success don't protect you from pain. In fact, they often make it worse. Second, salvation doesn't come in the form of money or applause, it comes from love, connection, and trust. And third, inspiration isn't about grand gestures. Sometimes it's about the quiet moments. A hug. A call. A reminder that you're not alone. There's a lesson here too. If Johnny Depp can stand in front of the world and admit, "She saved me," then maybe we can admit that too. Maybe we can tell the people in our lives that they saved us, even if it was in small ways. Maybe we can be brave enough to say, "I couldn't have done this without you." Because those words matter more than we realize. And here's something psychologists often talk about: resilience isn't about never breaking. It's about breaking, and then finding the strength to piece yourself back together. But most people don't do that alone. Gratitude, love, and human connection are what glue us back together. That's what Johnny was pointing to. He wasn't saying, "I saved myself." He was saying, "Someone saved me. Someone reminded me I was worth saving." And that's powerful. Let me tell you why this is so important to remember. Because too often, we forget the people who stand by us. We get so caught up in the storms of life that we take our anchors for granted. But imagine what it does to someone to hear that they were your reason for holding on. Imagine the power of saying, "You saved me." It doesn't just honor them, it strengthens you too. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, "I don't have that person," don't lose hope. Sometimes inspiration doesn't come from people at first. It can come from your own passions. Your music, your writing, your dreams, even your faith. These can be the "she" in your life. And once you lean into them, people often follow. Because when you find what keeps you going, it attracts others who understand and want to walk with you. Johnny Depp's story is dramatic, yes, but it's also universal. Because every one of us has either been saved by someone, or had the chance to save someone else. And maybe that's the bigger picture here. Maybe Johnny's words aren't just about his own life. Maybe they're a reminder for us to be that person for others. To notice when someone is struggling. To show up when it would be easier to look away. To be the anchor in someone else's storm. Think about it. How many lives could change if more people were willing to be that lifeline? We don't always realize the impact we have. Sometimes it's just a smile at the right moment. Sometimes it's a late-night phone call. Sometimes it's choosing to believe in someone who stopped believing in themselves. It doesn't always take a grand act of heroism to save someone. Sometimes it's as simple as being there. And so, when Johnny said, "She saved me," it wasn't just about who she was. It was about what she represented. Love. Loyalty. Presence. The things money and fame can't buy. The things every human being needs. And honestly, maybe that's why people connected with those words so much. Because deep down, we all want to be saved, and we all want to be someone's reason to hold on. So let me ask you, who's the "she" or "he" in your life? Who's the one who pulled you out of the storm? Who's the one you can look back on and say, "Without them, I wouldn't be here"? And if you haven't told them yet, maybe today is the day. Because gratitude, spoken out loud, has a way of healing both the giver and the receiver. And as for Johnny, his story continues. He's still creating. He's still inspiring. He's still proving that being saved doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. And being human is what makes his story, and all of ours, worth telling. So next time you think about those 3 words, "She saved me," don't just think about Johnny Depp. Think about yourself. Think about who saved you. And maybe, just maybe, think about who you can save next.